show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast on this stormy night. We'll see if this show stays on. And that's our phrase for the corner. Bring the thunder. There you go. There you go. AwesomeCast 697. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in the Sorgatron Media Studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I got the crew with me. First of all, social media maven, photographer, and woman about town is Katie Dudas, the Dudders.
Who knows what I'm doing and where? Anything goes at this
point. Literally. It's like they need to put a tracker on you. Oh, wait, we did. We did, actually. So
yeah.
we share airplays. One if we get lost in the woods when we're hiking, and one is like, okay, does it look like she's somewhere where she looks like busy? Okay, I'm not bothering her for a little bit. I want to give her a couple hours. So it's like there's two men. I'm like, hey, have you seen what's this email and and you're like, I'm at an event, leave me alone, and then vice versa, right? So it's a mutual locational respect situation.
Absolutely. And then if I run off somewhere, you'll find me,
which literally happens at events. So it has been helpful. So awesome. Good to have you back with us here this week. I know you got to run off here in about 20 minutes or so. So I'm glad we could get at least a little bit of time with you here on the show. Also back with us, going to take over going to be hanging with them on the back half of the show. So Dave, please hold the tirades until after Katie leaves. Okay.
Okay, I will keep it calm. Mm-hmm. I will keep it calm.
And
Can't guarantee about the thunder in the background, but I will keep it calm.
No, absolutely. The iPhoneography podcast, great stuff going on over there as well. So let's not waste any time considering all the stuff. And it's a weird night. Things aren't working. Streams aren't kicking in and things like that. We're on mostly important places, so we're just kind of roll with things for right now. So bear with us. If we didn't get to your platform this week, I'm going to blame the thunder. I don't know how that works, but the sites have been just kind of not working here and there over the last couple of days. I've been noticing like LinkedIn was down for a few hours the other day. Facebook was down over the weekend for like 20 minutes. So we're just going to chalk it up for that. But again, we have you guys out there on the YouTubes and the Facebooks where a lot of our crowd usually is. So thank you everybody for tuning in. And of course, all this is out there afterwards as usual. But let's get into our awesome things of the week. Katie, tell me about Hello Kitty.
It's Halloween season. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, but Halloween is in all the stores right now, and I'm a big Hello Kitty fan, if you haven't figured that out yet from watching any episodes of AwesomeCast. So I've been to Marshall's. So Marshall's was the place I wanted to go because there was a couple things in Marshall's that I really wanted, and my niece is really into Sanrio, so I needed to get us stuff for Halloween because why wouldn't we? I found the thing that I was not expected to find because I'd seen it online and I did not think I was going to be able to find it, but it is a Hello Kitties and Friends porcelain haunted house.
Whoa!
Isn't that neat? Yeah, so you got Hello Kitty, you got a little black cat, you got some other characters up top, little ghosty versions of Choco Cat. But yeah, you just like put a little, I'll put like one of the battery operated, like this one here, candle in there. And then, yeah, that's it. Isn't it neat? I'm so excited about it.
I like that. Okay, now you got to help us out.
Yeah.
So you got Hello Kitty in the front. So let me know who the characters are around there.
So Choco Cat is a ghost. That's my Melody. She's got, it looks like stitches on her head. Like I think she's wearing like a Frankenstein kind of a look. And then Kuromi is right there, and she is the witch. Mm-hmm. And then Hello Kitty is just Hello Kitty. It's kind of a little witch too with her little broom. And there's a little tiny pumpkin with a face. I love it. It's so cute.
That's great. I love it. So I know there's some controversy over Hello Kitty in recent weeks, and I don't think we've had you on talking about Hello Kitty with this. So I want to ask the big question. Hello Kitty is just a girl, just a cat that happens to be a girl with a bow, or I don't care, I love Hello Kitty?
Well, obviously it's I don't care, I love Hello Kitty. But she is a girl because Charmy with 2 M's is the cat.
Okay. All right.
Charmy with 2 M's. Don't, not 1 M, 2 M's, remember?
Yes. Oh, I remember that. That was a whole thing for a while on these shows. I don't even know if it was this or the Mayhem show, but that was definitely a thing. So it's a porcelain. I think I just found it. No, I just found it on TikTok. Somebody talking about it.
Oh yeah.
So you said this is at Marshall's. Is this a Marshall's exclusive or anything, or?
I'm. That's the only place that had it. The thing is, like Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods are all the same company, and so all of them have different Sanrio and a lot of Snoopy. Sorry, Sorg, you can't go to any of these stores because you'll find so much stuff for your mom, like Snoopy Halloween pajamas.
Jeez.
Snoopy Halloween blankets.
That's awesome.
So you're gonna have to shop.
Real quick, when all I saw was Hello Kitty Haunted House. I didn't know exactly what you were going to show.
Especially since there's no like.
What? I imagine you have not gone into Lowe's or Home Depot recently.
No, I've been trying to avoid that too.
They already have out. They've had out for the last month the 10-foot tall animatronics for Halloween, and
Kraken.
Well, the Kraken, the skeleton with the bone collector, the sailor with the moving. I was expecting almost, or other stores that have like the whole village set up. I've seen a couple of Disney ones that are like massive with all these little moving parts and everything. And I was thinking, is this going to be one of those, that you could leave out all year round? Some of these other ones, you have to move stuff around the house to put it places.
So it's funny because like when I texted my roommate and told them that I was going to Marshall's because there was Halloween Hello Kitty, he literally expected me to he was like, no, I don't know if we should do that because he thought I was going to bring home a 10-foot inflatable Hello Kitty for the yard. And I was like, no, it's just this. And he's like, oh, that we have space for that. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So all your Hello Kitty, are you going to keep us up on the Hello Kitty Halloweenness going through, or the general Hello Kitty holidayness going through the next few months?
Oh yeah, I probably will have something for every week. It looks like at this point.
Now I need to develop a graphic for you now, like Hello Kitty, Katie's Hello Kitty corner.
Yes.
Awesome. So go get your Hello Kitty on. It's everywhere. Like I was looking at, and I'm always like I get because I respond to and send you things. I now get like Hello Kitty ads. There's Hello Kitty Adidas that came out, and I'm always like, oh, do I just send it to her, or is she probably already getting this? She probably it's like people that send me obvious wrestling news that like that's all they know to send me is wrestling news, when it's like, yeah, of course I've seen this, yeah, I've seen so and so's like departed the company or whatever, right? So like I imagine like you're already inundated with Godzilla and Hello Kitty. I really need to help you?
No, we just find each other the super weird stuff that should not exist.
Oh, like the Hello Kitty
crossovers.
The Hello Kitty Decepticon Transformer. What the heck was that about?
Horrifying. Would not advise.
I don't even know. Transformers is getting into a weird place right now, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So, I feel like we bastardized the true meaning of Transformers in Optimus Prime. Although we're completely seeing that movie. Anyways. So let me get into my awesome thing of the week here real quick. Let me make sure I can bring it up here. So I came across this. It came up in an article or something when they were talking about Apple Arcade games. And I think I had seen this and was like, oh, I don't need another chess game. But this is part of Apple Arcade. You can download the free version as well and just pay $4 to get rid of all the ads or whatever that you need to do with it. It's called Really Bad Chess. So the idea is it's for the chess for people that don't care, that aren't like the best at chess or anything like that. So I can let's go to a free play. What it does is you got your chess pieces, but you have randomly placed and randomly generated chess pieces. If you see this seems really lopsided. I didn't realize you don't get the same chess pieces now, because if you notice, I have 4 queens. And they have 1, but they have 4 horses. I got 5 horses. So the idea is, and if you're like kind of wrapping your head, or maybe chess is boring because it seems like the same thing all the time. Like it's nice because it does like kind of teach you how to play. Oh, the horse moves this way. I know the knight, but it's the horse. It's always going to be the horse to me. But anyways, yeah. So it's a lot of fun, and it's easy. It's a nice little kind of throwaway game for you to play with here. But I highly recommend it. And again, it's on the Apple Arcade, and it's on Android as well. It's on Android and Apple as the kind of freemium game. So you're going to look for if you're on Apple Arcade, look for the Plus version, the Really Bad Chess Plus. So yeah, it's been pretty good, and I can actually beat chess. Considering like wait a minute, are those queens?
You're in check. You're actually in check. Right now.
Oh, he says help. Oh, yeah, I like that because it lets you know because he says help, and it says I can only move things like that. Okay, that makes sense.
There we go.
There you go. I'm not.
The rest should be easy for you.
Yeah, the rest should be easy. So, but anyways, no, if you want to kind of check that out, it's come a long way from playing Chessmaster 3000 and Windows 3.1 that I grew up on. But it's definitely really cool. Highly recommended for a nice throw. Also, I'm still playing Minesweeper. Have I talked about Minesweeper on here? I talked about Cornsweeper, I know. That's also on Apple Arcade. I want to give you a quick twofer here. Because I've been absolutely addicted to this, and going back to Windows 3.1 when I discovered Minesweeper 2. This one's actually a Netflix game, and it's Minesweeper, and that's Dave. There we go. It's Minesweeper, but it's got this like. So I guess it makes sense. It's Mines, right? I've only seen it as like a grid game.
Oh.
So it's got this really kind of nautical vibe to it and everything like that. And it's just there's nothing.
No, it's still Minesweeper though.
Yeah, and nice. You can switch this tab to do your flags to mark where you think the mines are, but you can also do a long press too to do it. And then, you blow it up and boom, there it is. So that kind of gives you the idea. And it's been courses like this so far. I've been playing this for a couple weeks now. And I've been really, really kind of digging it. So I just getting back to those like nice throwaway games going on over on the iPhone and everything. So definitely highly recommend it. So go check that out. That is Minesweeper on Netflix, and they also dropped a Dragon Prince game that looks pretty good. I started playing a little bit of it. It's kind of a action RPG kind of thing that I can tell so far. I just started on a little bit. That's also on Netflix. So that's going into that whole thing where Netflix is okay. Here's a Minesweeper game, but here's something actually based on a show that we produced. Which isn't like the Love games or something. Anybody else getting weirded out by all the Love games when you load up the app for Netflix on your phone? Am I the only one that loads up Netflix on my phone?
All the Love Island, like love things.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
hookup games. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm not. No, I don't. That's not. No, where's my Squid Game? It's watch. It's gonna. Now it's not gonna pop up when I put this in here. Also, when you're on the TV, there's how it like cycles like, hey, check out the latest of this show or the new Beverly Hills Cop or something. It actually pulls up like the Stranger Things game now as an option, but I can't get to it on my Apple TV. That is the biggest thing that I want is the Apple TV to start, them to start putting their Netflix games on the Apple TV because they're giving you stuff like Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and Grand Theft Auto. It's like, oh man, somebody put those on my Apple TV, please. But yeah, you get that idea. Of course, Exploding Kittens. Exploding Kittens just had a new series come out. Yeah, here you go. Too Hot to Handle 3. There you go. There's your sexy game. I don't know what. Bring the drama. Customize hotter choices than ever. You have a love guru. Is this a show? Is this what's happening? Perfect match. Netflix stories. I don't know what's happening here.
That looks like almost a batch, like a
Love is Blind. Yeah. Oh, look at all these. Look at all these. They have a niche. They must be Virgin River. What? Have fun with that. Netflix. They said they're bringing you games. And then there's like Hades is on this thing, which is an amazing game I've been playing on the Game Pass for like a couple years now. It's such a there's like full blown games on this thing, and then you have like love games, and it's really kind of well rounded. It's its own app store at this point. Anyways, Really Bad Chess. Start there and see where you go from that. Dave Ponder, what is your awesome thing of the week?
Sure. Now, this is a follow up to last week, where last week I had the problem, and also letting one know on video. I'm using my laptop instead of the webcam, the external webcam,
Yes.
and it has the built-in. I'll call it the Chilla Zoom.
The Chilla Zoom. Oh, I saw it moving a little
The
bit
AI
earlier.
zoom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And it
has
does
the
look
AI
a lot
zoom.
better. Okay. Whoop.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it has this AI zoom where it will zoom in and zoom out. I can't figure out why yet. But okay. So last week I showed a video, kind of zoom, an up close video of the hornet's nest I had outside.
Okay.
Okay. And I wanted to get rid of it. So I tried, of course, I don't want to say high tech, but I tried sprays. Okay. I sprayed that little booger 3 times. Yeah, that thing. Okay, sprayed it 3 times. And they must have thought it was an appetizer. You know, I tried other things that were like, oh, just put this in the ground and it'll attract it with the look and the color, and it'll take care of it. Nothing was working. Nothing was working. So sometimes you have to go old fashioned technology. Brick.
Okay. You threw a brick at the wasp
Yeah.
nest?
Yeah. It was in a bush on the ground.
Okay.
So I wasn't like throwing it up at my roof or up where a window could hit it. And I took a few bricks out. We actually have the bricks here when Ruth, for her jewelry thing, puts up a tent. We use the bricks as weights.
Okay.
So we have, 4, 5, 6 random red bricks in the garage. And the first one I missed, my aim was off. But after 4 or 5 bricks, and then this morning taking one last one and just kind of overhead smashing it into what was left of it, I think I finally got them taken care of.
How many bricks does it take to?
And I only got bit once.
Oh, jeez, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. This morning, they got me. I was headed out for a run, and I saw there was a little bit left, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just take a quick little brick and just kind of smash it." And I snuck up and got one of the bricks that were out there because the bricks kind of landed underneath the desk, and I don't want to go while anything's bitey there, and then just went whap. And I think that's when it got my leg. Minor. It's minor. It doesn't, minor little bump. But
here comes the brick guy.
I am the brick.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Brick versus wasp. There you go. There's your home maintenance tip from Dave Potter.
I mean, yeah. There's probably ultrasonic things that they have out there, but sometimes you just got to smash stuff.
So I watched The Beekeeper, and from what I learned, no, we won't do that. Anyways, I'm glad we have your wasp tips of the year of the week. Anyways, I want to real quick because I want to get to Katie's story here after the break. But thank you everybody that's supporting the show. Patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Again, we got the Patreon feed out, and I don't know what were we talking about. We were talking about whatever beforehand. And then Bonner still wants to push the envelope and say things that we shouldn't put on Patreon. But anyways, sometimes you'll get cats. You'll get more cats perhaps coming through as we're setting up. But anyways, thank you to everybody that does support the show at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Cynthia Klosky at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, John DeGore, and Dave Bonner, Sprouts of Roosterly Affair at roosterlyaffair.com. You guys support the show too. Get some extra content, some extra discussions that we have here around the studio at patreon.com/awesomecast. Katie, you have one more story here before you have to run off. So
Halloween
related. I love this. It is August 6th. Although, what was I passing? Something I was passing had like all of the holidays already out. And I was like, well, I guess here we are. But anyways, what do you got here? It's AI related, it looks like.
Yeah, it's AI, and I apologize because the best things I found were on TikTok. And so essentially there's a big controversy. Michaels is known for all of their, Halloween stuff, different things. So folks are going into the Michaels store, and they have this, like, spooky, like, I don't know, whatever. But it's this lady and she's got her wolves, and the quality of the background's kind of garbage. But as you go further and further into this photo, like the one wolf's leg is weird, and then if you go in there, they didn't even get rid of the watermarks on some of this artwork.
Oh no!
So if you get in there, yeah. There's like, so they essentially they claim is that Michael's created AI art and is selling it at for Halloween this year.
So to a certain point, I would say a lot of this art is just bad to begin with. It's just bad Photoshop. But those are now kind of telltale signs that they're using AI for this, right? When you're making all those random art pieces that they're selling for $10 at Michael's, though, like it's got to be the lowest grade of artwork, right? Like mass produced, really quick, kind of thing. Make a cool wolf thing, check, It kind of makes sense that they would just AI the crap out of us. Is this a Michael's provided thing or a Michael's purchase thing too? Like, is this something? I don't know how much Michael's like makes their own stuff, like an Aldi's or a Walmart or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I wasn't sure, like, what the brand, whose brand this was. So it's weird. I don't know. And so this goes back to all of the AI and probably what you're seeing on social media right now. Count the fingers.
Count the fingers.
Count the legs. that before you share anything on social, like those 3 twins, we've just celebrated our 90th birthday that mysteriously look all the same. Count their fingers.
Yeah.
Because that's the things I'm seeing all over social media right now. Count the fingers.
Count the fingers. It's not just for newborns anymore.
Nope.
Or shop teachers.
Teachers. Yeah.
Also, watch the text.
Yeah.
Because the AI is horrible with text. It can be fixed, but most people are trying to get away with AI stuff, will not put the extra effort to fix the text. Yeah. And I would say not only count the fingers, but just look at them. Because they make it the numbers right, but they may be like the pointer fingers like twice as thick. or like Dunder's head. It may be like it looks like it's broken, it's going on a weird 90-degree angle. But it's now eventually will AI get good enough to do it? Free AI that the scammers use, that's another thing altogether.
I will point out, I just just want to put this kind of side jag in here that I saw the other day. Shoot, now it's not coming up. But again, we've seen this for years. Like again, the AI is one thing, but something peculiar. Like there's been art over the years that's been kind of questionable, right? Like, this came up in my feed the other day about there's the classic Ninja Turtles original promotion poster with their head sticking up and the manhole cover and the hand. Who's holding it up? Whose hand is that? Can you tell? Does any of it make sense there from where they're sitting?
I mean, you almost have to
right?
Like that.
That doesn't look comfortable for anybody.
No.
Yeah. No. Whose hand is it?
Could be anyone's. Even yours.
Yes, exactly. Well, Katie, I think it's pumpkin time for you, so we're gonna let you go so you go on your really, 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 really important call. Yep.
I mean, yay!
Go be professional.
Yep, I'm a grown up.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. What was your website again? It's your name, right?
I don't know. KatieDudas.com.
KatieDudas.com. There you go. For all the Dudders things. So thank you, and we'll catch you later.
Bye.
All right, Potter. It's just you and me.
Yeah.
So what do we got left here? It was a little light on things. I didn't know what really to get into. So you said there's some more AI stuff with the Mac OS beta though this year.
Right. And this is something that Apple put into it. So even behind the scenes, because if you do a prompt and say, give me this, or for the photos, show me photos of, show me photos of Ruth from the spring over the years. Well, Apple wants, and this is the Apple controls. So if you don't like it, don't use it. But Apple will put in things like make sure it's a happy scene.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure there's nothing distressing going on. Or if you're looking for prompts that it'll put out, it'll say make sure the information's correct. Which I don't know how that works, but I don't know if it means that, if you say something, make sure there's you're not pulling from the internal database, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. But this is all hidden. So it's actually pre-prompting. This is all pre-prompts even before you prompt. So I think it was a couple months ago, Missy showed where, you talked about Missy's prompts being paragraphs and paragraphs long just to get exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
This is Apple kind of pre-populating that.
Okay.
Which, you don't want to say, let's say for the photos part, you don't want to have photos that are, you come out and the photos are pictures of a surgery or pictures of an injury that you want to put up, or, something where it may not be a good thing to bring up. There, of course, this is Apple doing its Apple thing.
Mm-hmm. They want it to be a pleasant experience. They don't want you stumbling on terrible things, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, this is much like when you go to like Facebook and it's the internet filtered through an algorithm. Like this is like Apple wants to be a little bit of a steward for you, because also like they don't want you. Well, generally they don't want you to have a bad experience on their devices and on their software, which is completely understandable. So yeah, so I think that's. I understand what they're doing. Is there? Do you see? Is there? And maybe we'll know this more as we get out of beta and people get hands on with this thing. Do we think that there's a way to turn this kind of thing off? There is not. So that now that tempers a little bit of what can you do with this? Like if we're using things like, I don't know, I just used AI to write a cover letter today because let's be honest,
right.
Things like that. And I'm like, here's the info, make me sound smart. So and also those things are so formatted and everything, and if you go off format, they're not even gonna whatever. It just needs to look impressive when they scan it. But anyways,
but also to give an example, because I did bring up the article.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have a smart reply feature for emails,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is actually in the code.
Okay, and this is their mail app. There's their mail.
This is the mail app.
Mm-hmm.
You are a helpful mail assistant which can identify relevant information from given mail in a short snippet. Given a mail in the reply snippet, ask relevant questions which are explicitly asked in the mail. And it goes on how to do this. Answer those which will help reduce hallucination in drafting the response.
Mm-hmm.
Do not ask questions which are answered by the reply snippet. The answer should be short, around 2 words. Present your output in a JSON format, which I don't know what that is.
JSON.
Only output valid JSON and nothing else. So that's, I did a LinkedIn AI course for prompts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the person said, well, if you really want to have good answers, you're going to have to take effort and make your own prompts.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, here's my website where you can copy and paste the prompts and just input the blanks, so what you want to do.
So in this case, they've done that work for you. They've done the prompt work for you. So you just say, hey, what are you just hitting a button, and this prompt that they've done the prompt engineering for you.
Exactly.
And build it into the system, and then your stuff lays your inquiry lays on top of whatever they put in the code. Which is, I think that's the thing. I think there's I think as you're seeing these services, there's like, and you're seeing like the GPTs like that you can use that do specific things over on. All they're doing is setting up if then statements and formatting options. If somebody's talking about this, make sure this happened. If we go this way, make sure this happens. Like it's the same thing. It's happening in your operating. Apple is doing the thing to help you whether you like it or not, which is the thing they've always done, which is why so many people like them. So this is that version of that, and I think that's pretty okay. I think that's And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. I'm sure as hell not using the mail app, and I'm getting a version of that. I'm getting a version of smart responses and things like that when I'm already using Gmail in workspaces. So, what's the difference there, really? Because, I mean, that's all that is. It's their own version of prompting, So, hey, give me 3 quick responses based on the text that's in the upper thing. They've been doing this before it was called AI. But no, I think that it is an interesting look under the hood, though. Because that's one thing. We have a lot of things to help us out, but we should understand why and how it works. And for those that are curious, and maybe we're not sitting down coding as much as we used to, but still, it's good to look under the hood and see what's going on. Understand what's going on, even if you can't build the thing.
But not only that, but this is really coding without coding.
It is.
Because
it's plain language coding, really.
Exactly. So, if you've done coding in the past, this is just, like I said, building prompts. This is in plain language. There are no, if you go back to early HTML, if you go back to quick basic, Fortran, whatever you want to go back to, C++, this does not look like programming, but it is. So this is basically Apple saying, okay, we're going to take your input, we're going to filter it through this thing, and then we're going to shoot it out to the AI engine behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's just something that, and I don't know if they would mention this or not, or if they're just considering this part of the Apple intelligence versus artificial intelligence.
That's the whole thing. I think that's now there is no distinction since they rebranded it, right? So it's that layer on top of, and how much of it is happening on device, which they say a lot of it is. So I mean, we're already seeing. I talk about Mac Whisper that I'm using from a couple weeks ago. That's all on board and everything. Like, it doesn't have to go out if I don't want it to. Things like that. So I don't know. I just think Yeah, no, I think it's just kind of part of the process and the part how they look. It's a view into how they plan to manage this. I'm really interested in what's going to happen when they run into situations like Google has with the image of all the founding fathers are black or something like that, or randomly there's Nazis in a picture or something like that. Maybe there's just a giant bold underlined thing in the code, no Nazis ever, which actually makes a lot of sense. Makes sense.
You know what? That's a very Apple thing to do.
It's a very Apple thing to do. Which
after all, they did say no porn in the App Store.
They did do that. They almost didn't allow browsers because of it, right? Was one of the things. So, but they're listening up, and we have things like the emulation apps and everything on our devices. So, it's good to see that. It took the EU to do that, but damn it, the EU did one thing right. So, but we'll see. Everything else is bonkers. Other app changes that have been happening, and I noticed this. We're riding around, and I'm enjoying the new CarPlay, aftermarket CarPlay thing, that you get for like $60 on Amazon and stuff, right? And I'm looking at it, and where the heck were we? We went to Cleveland this past week, and we went up for SummerSlam. And like, I looked at it, and I'm just like, man, I really wish I knew where Sheetz was, or something like that. I'm like, you know what? When did they stop doing that? Because they would have advertisers basically, and they would tell you where every Starbucks is, where every Dunkin' is, where every Sheetz is, where every Valvoline oil change is or something, right? And I enjoyed it because I actually wanted to know where every Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, and Sheetz was around me, because that's a really helpful information, because I actually like to go to those places. I would love to know when there's one nearby. And to the point where I'm like, is there something to let me know when all of these are nearby, if there's an app on there? But also, like, I was just kind of deciphering this must be something with Google or something like that. And then as if on cue, because that was Saturday, and then I think today or yesterday I found this, Google is getting more like Waze. And it has been for a while. You've seen a lot of the the abilities, using a lot of the traffic information to get on there like you're used to and everything like that. But they're talking about you're going to have the ability to see building entrances and nearby parking, and you're more reporting and everything like that, like you're used to, like reporting road incidents and things like that. And Waze is going to get more camera alerts and prompts for upcoming events that might affect traffic. I feel like I've already been getting this because I know every time there's a Pirates game, because I get a notification a day or two before. So that hey, this may affect
you
traffic
mean within
in your
Google Maps or Waze?
that's in Waze. That's in Waze.
Okay.
And then they say events coming to Waze. So maybe it's going to be broader than just stadium sporting events like that. And granted, like I presume you don't get something like that where you live. I know you're in the greater Pittsburgh area, but also I realize I look at a map. I have no context for how close to the city. I'm in the city, obviously, but to like downtown I am and things like that until I go over the right hill and I can see the top of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Or that I am. If you took my map and saw where I lived and just zoomed out slightly, you would see 376 and the line of traffic going into the Fort Pitt Tunnel every day. I guess that would affect my traffic. So it's in my region, in my neighborhood. Therefore, I'm always going to get an alert for something in town that affects that roadway, which is in my circumference, I suppose, right?
Right.
Even I was like looking at the thing. I was just going back to my house, and where the CarPlay gives you more space, and I just saw it down on Banksville Road. And I'm like, oh, geez, why is it's like 1 o'clock? What's on a Saturday? What's happening down there? That everything's
It's Banksville Road.
But it's not. But it's not like that time of the day. It made no sense. So, but there looked like there's maybe some police activity or something up in an intersection or something. So, good check, because I would have bopped down there, and if I had to go somewhere and gotten into something that I wouldn't have realized otherwise, because there's only so many ways out of this neighborhood on top of a hill. So, things like that. So no, it's good to see that's happening. I'm kind of waiting for the day that Waze and Google kind of converge at some point. It seems odd.
I'm really shocked it hasn't, especially with Google's history of, hey, we're having 5 different chat clients.
Yeah.
Oh, we canceled this one.
Oh, no. So now we have like 2 different nav clients.
Yeah.
So no, actually, that's kind of on brand for them, isn't it? So
it is, but eventually they normally cancel one.
They do, and they will. Listen, Waze is not long for this world, and I don't know what's it may be because I presume the developers are still in Israel, and maybe that's where the separation is happening, and so they're like it's becoming difficult to bring all that stuff in. But of course, they're now probably at this point where they're sharing resources, sharing assets, and things like that. Yeah. There's no way that didn't happen at this point. And there may be something that, hey, this is built on X platform, this is built on Y platform, and they can't talk to each other except for and all this time has been them building, okay, let's bring all the traffic information in together into one database. Cool, now we can both talk to it. Maybe that development, maybe there's a lot of back end development because I mean, Waze has been, I don't know what is Waze's GPS install base. Let's see if that's a thing. Let's see. GPS device installed worldwide. GPS tracker install guide. GPS app install. Let's try that. Google, Apple, and what was it, Waze? I'm curious, if it'll give me anything like this. Apple 3 apps. Well, that's just a comparison. Let me add. What was the search engine Perplexity last week?
Oh yeah, because of using OpenAI having their own search box.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get contextual. According to this, the app has been downloaded over 5 billion times for the Google Maps Store from the Google Play Store. Apple Maps, Apple Maps specific download number. I get downloads is not exactly what I want, although it does say that the Waze has been downloaded over 100 million times from the Google Play Store. It is also popular among iOS users. So Okay, I guess I need a user base or something like that. I got to think about that. I've got to do some prompt engineering.
Well,
over here.
It's been around for 14 years released.
Waze?
Yeah.
And actually, Apple Maps is probably the youngest of them, correct?
I would have to double check on that.
Well,
I want to say Apple Maps No, they were around as a project beforehand. Yeah, 2012.
They're 2012 and
2012 is iOS 6.
And Waze debuted in January 2009 as it was after free map proved successful. The app was rebranded to Waze and debuted in January 2009. So actually, yeah, it's been wow.
Yeah.
So that's around the time where it was basically Pac-Man to get you to map everything for them by driving around, and it wanted me to take a right off of a bridge to the road below in Polish Hill. So, we've come a long way. Haven't had that for a good long time. Those were the days of experimental technology. Oh, boy. Well, we got a Pittsburgh story here that was going around, and I can concur to this. Duolingo is something I have not participated in a long, long time, but I get all the notifications, and I get the sad or dead bird on my load screen, on my notification screen every day. So finally, I decided I'm going to delete it because I'm like, listen, you're not going to get back to this. Your life right now, you're not going to get back to learning Spanish, okay? We can pick this up later. Maybe, okay, Chachi has a 600 and some day streak. Okay. There's a lot of comments when I posted this thing here. But according to the Business Insider, the world's meanest app is Duolingo. Subjects its users to emotional blackmail, and Gen Z loves it, according to this. The context is that basically, it bullies you into doing it. It bullies you into learning the thing. Hey, it shows you goth girl with the purple hair on there. It says she's going to be really sad if you don't come back. I'm like, Duolingo is not okay. And then, like, literally at a point, the bird effing dies. And is a zombie bird, is a skeleton, it was like, part of me was like, how bad is this going to get? And I wanted to let it go. I kind of had a reverse effect on me. Okay,
boomer.
Yeah, right. I know, right? But yeah, no, really kind of I love Duolingo. Don't get me wrong. I love Duolingo, but it just, I have problems with routines and trying to fit those in. Like, I'm trying to do a mood app I don't think is going to work out for me. And the problem is me, and I don't think an app's going to help me with this. So, but yeah, so I don't know. Potter, I believe, you've been on Duolingo before, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still there.
You're still there. I thought I was.
I'm still there. Yeah. I just checked to see what my streak was, and I am up to 932 days. The only thing that really am I learning Spanish? Yes.
Come by my neighborhood and order a taco. Let's see how it goes.
My problem is the same problem I have with English. People speak too quick.
Yeah, that's the thing. My idea was I was going to learn Spanish.
I think I could read it decent to get a if someone gave me a book in Spanish, I think I could understand it enough.
Yeah.
But conversationally, I don't think. But that was a problem I had years. Let's just say almost 40 years ago when I took it in high school.
And same with me with French. So yeah.
So, but no, I do get the notifications where it's like, oh, Lily is so sad that you didn't, Lily, it'd be like really sad if you didn't like try now, dude. Okay. Or, the different characters and reaching out. And it's like, okay, why do it just to, again, trying to keep active, keep the brain going type thing. But yeah, it's very subversive. It is. And I kind of wonder if when they say Gen Z loves it, have they actually talked to a Gen Z?
I think they have in this article at some point.
Okay, because most of the time when people talk about younger generations, they don't realize what generation they're talking about is. People don't realize millennials are 30s and 40s now. And sometimes you hear, well, Gen Z wants this. Have you talked to a Gen Zer? Have you talked to more than one who's not related to you? It's almost like, Well, I talked to my son or daughter about this, and they're Gen Zer, and they like it. So obviously, Gen Zers love it.
Well, and again, going through this, I think you've got a lot of, you have a lot of social media talking about these platforms and everything too. So I think that's where a lot of this came. We have a lot of studying. We have a lot of studies that are mentioned in this article. We have a lot of experts that are mentioned in this article, of course, and talking about their marketing and things like that. So, I don't know how many like actual Gen Zers. Really, I don't see that any. We're talking about it's Business Insider. They're talking to business people about it. They're not getting on the streets on something like this. Are you expecting Business Insider to get on the streets? I mean, but there is social media and stuff for them to see what's going on, so they can see what the trends are and the general attitude about something. That's what something like a Twitter is for. Is seeing what the general attitude on a brand is. You see a bunch of people blowing up about it, then there you go. So, anyways, I love the. The company reported a 54% year-over-year growth in daily active users first quarter 2024 to over 31 million, 45% growth in revenue. Again, this is the language that they're talking in here, right? Not too shabby for an app whose effect has been described as psychotic, unhinged, and abusive. Is it? Aren't they passing a law for Facebook to not be these specific things? So,
yeah.
But no, it's for kids,
or even LinkedIn.
Yeah, no.
Or even LinkedIn.
No, absolutely. So I don't know. I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt. Obviously, like this is just some business fluff a little bit, but it does speak a little bit to that general attitude, and that's what I wanted to talk about there. And as all of us here have used it. And some of us have gone and had their tacos. But no, appreciate, it's good to see them in the news. And it looks like they're doing very, very well for themselves. So it's like, what? Sometimes negging works. is there a lesson here?
If it's done by a cute stuffed animal, yes.
There you go.
You gotta get the right one to be a nagger.
They do have little stuffed duos, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got little mascotty stuffed ones. There you go.
You go.
Get one of those from the Duolingo store for $30. It's not bad. Nice little guy. There you go. Anyways.
Oh, one thing I did want to bring up that was like a last minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a fan of the Google Chromecast, because I am a fan of that,
I have several.
Because it's a cheap little puck that just replicates what's on your screen. Google has talking about Google killing things. They killed it.
What are you talking about? What?
Yep, the Chromecast is officially dead. They're still selling them, but
I mean, it's not gonna stop working. You mean they're not getting updates?
No. Right. No. You'll still get a little updates now, and then they're just gonna when they run out of their stock, they will just stop selling. So if you're a fan of Chromecast and you're like, oh, I would love to have another one for another TV, or maybe have a backup, or go out and buy it now. Because what they replaced it with was a Google Stream, and the Stream is $100 box.
Yeah.
So that cheap little dongle, I have an older one, but the cheap little dongle that just plugs back into your
the one that they're showing here. This is the newer one. This is the version. Yeah. I have one of these too. It's a Chromecast with Google TV, and I think that was the last model that they did. It's technically 4K and everything like that, right? And then there were ones before that there's one that was a dongle, but most of them are these kind of hang off puck things.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah.
We have a couple 4Ks. We have a couple of the regular HD ones. I have one hanging from every TV that I have that doesn't have built-in stuff, which is most every TV that I use, right? The ones the built-in stuff are the ones I use for panels when we do productions, because they're the newest TVs I bought. No, because they've been tremendous, and I throw stuff to them, and so I'm not, okay, they're not selling them as one thing. They're going to still last for a while, but my concern is I'm not going to be able to replace them. But I guess it's like, fooey on me, I have a bunch of old TVs. Upgrade, you asshole. So I guess is the answer there. Until those TVs won't even last as long as the Chromecast. Because how many times I cannot, like, we have this Fire TV here in the studio just because it's a cheap TV, right? is the interface drives me insane. I can't just turn it on, hit a button, and go to inputs. I have to let it load and then go into inputs. And same with the Roku TVs that we have. Same with the Vizios with their own software on it. And then, what if I got like a 65-inch one of these to put in my living room? And then, like, in several years, it just says, hey, your Fire TV's tool, like it does on the dongle that I got, the first generation dongle. Like, these things don't last forever on the software side, but it's still a TV. And now you have this I mean, yeah, you can plug something in, but you still got to load the old software to do the basic things.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the cost of you bought a cheap TV. It's subsidizing it. Okay, I got you. But, man, like, that is just a way to make more waste at this point. Is my big concern. I don't know. I have 15-year-old TVs that I'm using, so I don't.
Downstairs, we have it's at least 15 years old, probably even older plasma.
Plasma in the back, that nice Samsung back there. Yep.
Yeah. I figure it's plasma, so there's a chance it'll last forever almost.
Got it for like $80 off of Craigslist when we were moving into the studio.
No, I could see that. But we had problem with our cable box. All of a sudden it looks scrambled. And we got a new cable box. Worked okay for a day. Looks like crap. Literally looks scrambled. And when we got the new box, the person at Comcast said, well, your next step is to actually have an installer come out and check your lines, and that's going to be around $100. I'll take it. That's $100 for someone to come out. So what I did, because Xfinity has their mobile app, I start viewing it now on the mobile app, use the Chromecast, and Chromecast it to the TV, and it's perfect. It looks clear, perfectly clear. It looks great.
I'm with you. I use the Xfinity app as well. Share an account where we have that, and the Xfinity app is one of the most garbage apps that I've ever used. Doesn't work half the time. I'll be watching a 3-hour Raw, and it'll decide to pop me back to the beginning. And I have to go find my spot again, and it's so awkward, and I have to wait like a full minute for the thing to load again. So
we haven't had that issue yet. Yeah, we haven't had that issue yet.
Now I'm typically using the DVR. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Okay, yeah, so, no, I'm not. No, This is for like live TV viewing.
Sure. So once it's there and you're going,
the Xfinity app is exactly what the TV has on it for its guide.
And I haven't used it yet, by the way. I was gonna say the Xfinity app is on the Apple TV, so I know they started doing TV versions of the apps. I don't know if they're on any other platform yet, but Dave, it's been a good chat.
Most definitely.
And thanks to Katie for hopping in here before her last minute meeting here a few minutes, but do appreciate that. Maybe I'll Patreon. I'll tell you about my Verizon installation that just happened last week. So there's other house stuff that was hanging out. It was last Monday was really bad for me, like really truly bad for me. I think I was depressed for about 4 days after that. Anyways, in a rough week. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody that does tune into the AwesomeCast, contribute to their Patreon and everything like that. If you want to be a part of this, we are looking for show producers and social media people. And again, people that have worked with us here on these Tuesday night shows have actually gone on and got some careers out of it. So it's a good sounding board for that. And we're trying to figure out what that looks like, too. So we're looking for people to onboard and kind of experiment with us. And what does it look like when I'm not doing everything by myself in the studio here? Because it's been like that for a while now. So we'll go hit us up on the contact form over at sorgatronmedia.com or awesomecast.com, or hit us up into DMs on our social medias, which is AwesomeCast about on every platform. Thank you so much for everybody joining us. We'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned for the Patreon if you're on that. And you have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.